Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for some player props and spreads in the NBA for Friday, May 7th. We are back. It's Friday, and you love to see that. Let's recap yesterday, 2 and 3, and I gotta take a quick second. Over the past 2 weeks, we've had so much unluckiness, and there's really not much you can do there. I mean, you can put a lot of analytics and research and look at how these teams play and who the matchups. That's a lot of gambling, but at the end of the day, you're going to need some luck, and we have had no luck on our side. I mean, yesterday we had Pascal Siakam. He destroyed it. I called a Pascal Siakam 40-piece, and he actually treated me nicely. I mean, but let's talk about, and we had the over in the Wizards-Raptors game, which sure, you might say we had a little bit of luck. Those teams missed a ton of free throws. We needed that overtime to cash that over, but we really shouldn't have needed it. But let's talk about our L's. LaMelo Ball, PRAs. I mean, he did well on the rebounds and assists side, got 13, but we had 31.5 PRAs. The man had as many fouls as he did points. I mean, we shot 1 for 10, 1 for 11, 4 points, 4 fouls. I mean, you can't do anything with that. Also, another one of our L's. We got to talk about it. Anthony Davis. All right, he gets injured. Yeah, what can you do there? He was 2 for 9. That's not great, but he gets injured. Doesn't even play the last 3 quarters of the game. And I guess Clint Capella, that was to be expected. Whatever. I tried to trust the good matchup versus the Pacers. Nah. Get out of here. There's a reason we have a trillion bad beats, and that's why we have a bad beats emoji. I mean, whatever. We're just going to move on. Not much you can do there. The unluckiness, bad beats, you can't do much about them. But shout out to all the new COS All-Stars out there. I'll put them all right up here, right here. I mean, shout out to all of them. You guys are killing it. We really appreciate your dedication. If you want to become a COS All-Star, link is down below. You get to see some cool emojis like that bad beats one, and you get to show your support for us on the channel, which we really appreciate it. Check the first link in the description or click the join button next to the subscribe button. Last but not least, I need you guys to go show Logan some more love, dude. You guys have been killing his views, but Logan is on an absolute heater. He is 27 and 10 over his past 6 days, if I'm not mistaken. Can't stop, won't stop. He's learning more about the MLB, and he's getting into it. So go check out his video after this one. He's been killing it in baseball, and I think you guys really, you're losing it if you're not going to check out his video. So go check out that afterwards. Also, subscribe if you are new. Almost at 4,600 subscribers. I know you guys can hit today, so click that subscribe button if you're new. Also, click that like button. It's Friday. It's time to celebrate. Let's get into some picks, and we're talking about the future MVP. Also, side note, no pictures. I know if you like the pictures, I'm sorry. YouTube gave me a lot of copyright problems with them. I mean no harm. I'm just a man. All right, Nikola Jokic, future MVP. I'll still get the line down at the bottom. Over 25.5 points versus the Utah Jazz, -105. And here's why. He's going to be rewarded the MVP probably in a couple weeks, whenever they award it. I don't know. But the Nuggets, the injuries keep rolling, coming on and coming on. PJ Dozier out. You obviously got Jamal Murray out. Monte Morris out. Jokic, he's about the only thing they got besides him and Michael Porter Jr. And teams are keying in on Michael Porter Jr. more and more, not letting him shoot like he normally does. They're making him do something else. But let's talk about Jokic. Over his last 3 games, 30-plus points in all 3 of them. And he's had 30-plus in 4 of his last 5. And like I said, it's really him or Michael Porter Jr. that's going to shoot it. It's them versus the world. And like I said, teams are keying in on Michael Porter Jr., so someone's got to score the ball, and it's going to be Jokic. 30 points are great recently, but that's not why we're here. Enter Rudy Gobert, the supposed defensive player of the year. Well, whenever Jokic wakes up, he wakes up and chooses violence. He chooses destruction when they're playing the Utah Jazz. Check out Jokic, Nikola Jokic. Check out his game log versus the Utah Jazz, and specifically against Gobert. Last 6 games, here are his points total. For 47 points, 35 points, 30, 28 points. You see it. He's been killing them, and I'm taking it again tonight. You can't stop him. Nikola Jokic is not afraid of Gobert. He's too quick, too great with his footwork. I'm taking it, riding with the Joker tonight, the future MVP. Let's get it done. Moving on to D-Book, Devin Booker, over 26.5 points versus my New York Knicks, -116. And in his career, D-Book has feasted against my Knicks, and maybe that's not abnormal for a lot of players. Maybe this year is a little different, but in the past, I can understand. But the Knicks did play the Suns earlier this season, maybe, I believe, April 26th in the Garden. D-Book dropped 33 points on him. It's worth noting, over his past 5 games versus the Knicks, here are his points total. 33, like we just talked about. 29, 38, 41, 38. Yeah, sure, that was the Suns team that didn't have Chris Paul, but he still is very capable of hitting this. You look at he's on a crazy run right now, 30-plus points in 4 straight games, 30-plus points in 6 of his past 7. All we need is 27 points. I think he can get it done tonight. He's been on an incredible streak, and he's taking and making the shots that he's very comfortable with. That's what's great with having CP3 on the team. He's going to get you in spots that you're good at and good at shooting. Regardless of outcome, I think the Knicks will have their hands full with D-Book tonight. I do think the Knicks will bounce back and play much better than they did against the Nuggets, really because they couldn't have played any worse. So I think the Knicks will keep this game close. It's at 6 point. The Suns are 6-point favorites. I think it's a close game. Whether or not the Suns or Knicks cover, I don't know about that. But I think D-Book has a good chance of putting up a lot of points. Over his 11 career contests against the New York Knicks, he averages nearly 29 points per game. We're taking it. Devin Booker, over 26.5 points. Moving on to the man, the myth, the legend, Zion Williamson. I'm taking his over PRAs, points plus rebounds plus assists. We're taking it 40.5 versus the Philadelphia 76ers, minus 104. You got to look at the last time these two teams played. It was just basically the Pelicans and Zion Williamson. Obviously, Brandon Ingram will be out tonight, but the last time these two teams played, Zion, 37 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists. That was actually with Brandon Ingram inactive. Tonight, he will be inactive. Really, the only concern here is if this game is close, in my opinion. If the Pelicans can keep this close in Philly, I think Zion hits this with ease. The only thing that would scare me would be a blowout, but I'm taking it. Zion Williamson, I think he can do it in his career with games that Brandon Ingram has missed. He's absolutely feasted. We're taking the PRAs because he's been killing it on the rebounds and on the assists recently, and I think he does it again. Zion has hit this in 4 straight games, and against Philly, he should be able to do this again. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid, all above average, pretty good defenders. They all played that one game that Zion dropped 37 on their head, and all Zion needs is a simple screen, get him going downhill, and I don't think anyone can stop him. It is a GG. It helps that Zion's one of my favorite players, and I'm going to be rooting hard for him tonight. Pelicans need this win, or they need to at least remain close. They're trying to battle for the play-in games, and I don't know if they'll make it. They're still fighting for playoff positioning. Zion will play big minutes, and I expect Zion and Lonzo to show out tonight. Let's keep it close, and then I think we got a good chance. Zion Williamson over 40.5 PRAs. Moving on, we got 2 spreads. I normally don't do a whole lot of spreads, and we got an under in it tonight. We got Mavericks minus 10.5 versus the Cavaliers. And you know I don't pick spreads a lot, and there's for good reason, because there's a lot of NBA games that are just they're all over the place, and there's really not much you can do. But we're taking Mavericks minus 10.5, and here's why. Luka Doncic, he has played the Cavaliers 3 times in his career, all double-digit wins covering the spread. And overall, you look at the Mavericks team, they're the much better team. They're coming off a big victory against the Brooklyn Nets last night, and they just have more options on the scoring end than the Cavaliers do. I mean, they got Luka, obviously, who should be playing tonight, Tim Hardaway Jr., Brunson, Josh Richardson, all of those guys. All the Cavaliers really got is Colin Sexton, and that's about it. I think Josh Richardson can play pretty decent defense on Colin Sexton and make it tough on him. Also, you look at their last couple matchups. They've obviously, the last couple matchups for the Cavaliers, they've lost 4 straight games by 16 plus points, 8 games straight overall. The Mavs are just the better team. I mean, you're talking about a Cavaliers team that's missing one of their best players in Darius Garland. It's the NBA. The Mavericks are fully capable of losing this outright, and it could happen. It's the NBA. Any team can win any given night, but it's the Mavs versus the Cavs, battle of the Avs, and I'm rocking with the M's, the Mavs tonight. We're taking Mavericks minus 10.5 to cover versus the Cavaliers. Moving on, the biggest spread of the day, Bucks minus 16.5 versus the Rockets. And personally, I can go to sleep happy at night thinking I bet the Bucks to cover and win tonight. And is it a lot of points? Yes. Did the Rockets just beat the Bucks outright? Yes. But you have to look at what the Rockets will be handling tonight. And they don't have Kevin Porter Jr. The only reason they really beat the Bucks the last time they played in a shootout, 143 to 136, Kevin Porter Jr. dropped 50 points. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Kevin Porter Jr., you're going to be missing those 50 points tonight. He is not playing. Also, Christian Wood probably out. Kelly Olynyk also might be out. If you look at it, 13 players are on the injury report for the Houston Rockets tonight. I'm not even confident they'll have 7 or 8 players to suit up, and if they do, they are going to be playing hella minutes, and I don't think they can cover against the Bucks team. This could be an easy 40, 50-point outing that we have seen in the past couple weeks. We've seen teams win by 40 to 50 points. This could be one of those. I'm not really scared of a backdoor cover. It always is out there, but like I said, the Rockets have so many injuries. These guys are going to be playing a ton of minutes. I think the Bucks can easily cover this. Bucks minus 16.5 versus the Rockets. Last play of the day, Jared Allen. We're taking his under. I'm back. You know what, Jared Allen, the fro, I'm back for more. Jared Allen, under 24.5 points plus rebounds. If you had to take one, I'd take his under. And I don't really know. Maybe under in rebounds. But speaking of trash, That's what we were doing yesterday. Oh, that's what we did in the last pick. The Bucks are taking out the trash with the Houston Rockets. That's what we're doing here. I'm here to collect Mr. Jared Allen. We're going to make this one quick. I picked his under a couple nights ago, and he barely hit the over we missed on the hook, and that's fine. I can still live with myself. Jared Allen has only hit this over in 3 of his last 11 games, and if you look at all the times he has played the Dallas Mavericks, which is 5 games, albeit all of them were when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, he didn't even break 15 points plus rebounds against this Mavericks team. Sure, it was in Brooklyn, but he was still playing 25 plus minutes. Willie Cauley-Stein, Dwight Powell should be able to handle him in the paint. I'm not really scared. This game could turn into a blowout, and that would be absolutely awesome for both of our picks. But either way, they should be able to keep the Fro under control. And I'm locking it in. If the over hits, I will retire from betting on the Fro ever again. Over or under, I am out. We're taking Jared Allen under 24.5 points. Let's recap all these picks. Jared Allen under 24.5 points. Also, not doing a parlay of the day because I'm not sitting here and watching that L's rack up due to absolute unluckiness like Anthony Davis last night. Jared Allen under 24.5 points plus rebounds. Bucks minus 16.5 versus the Rockets. Mavericks minus 10.5 versus the Cavaliers. Zion Williamson over 40.5 PRAs. Devin Booker over 26.5 points. And the future MVP, Nikola Jokic, over 25.5 points. Thank you guys all for subscribing and being new and helping this community grow even more and more and more. 4,600 subscribers. Let's hit it. If you want to become a COS All-Star, we really appreciate it. 18 members at the moment. Shout out to all of you guys out there. Really appreciate it. You guys are the absolute best. Join, become a COS All-Star today. All right, this has been Austin. I've talked for enough. This has been Austin. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow for some more player props and spreads. Let's make some damn money tonight. I'm done playing. Peace.